I just saw the film Sinners, and I don't even make videos like this, but there's no way I wasn't going to speak out.
Okay, just got back from seeing Sinners in IMAX, and mind blown.
Am I the asshole? Am I in the wrong for thinking that my homeboy's girlfriend is suspicious, if not racist, for calling the movie Sinners racist?
The movie Sinners is still receiving so many reactions, so many accolades. While there are positive reactions, there are also negative reactions. And on this channel, we've reacted to the Latinos calling out their own for talking against Ryan Coogler not representing them in the movie. We've talked about what the black folks think about this movie. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at what the white folks are talking about this movie called Sinners. So guys, welcome to today's video. If you are new to this space, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let us dive right into the video.
I just saw the film Sinners, and I don't even make videos like this, but there's no way I wasn't going to speak out. I've seen some critiques of the film, but I feel like nobody's getting into the real issue. And so I guess I'm going to have to be the person to do this. That film was 2 hours and 17 minutes. Are you kidding me? Titanic was 3 hours. I needed that movie to be 4 hours. As a matter of fact, I need 5 spin-offs of that film, and I need them next year. I need Sinner lunchboxes and t-shirts. I need you to be the Kiss of cinematic merchandise. I need everything. I need the toys. I need it all. It needs to happen immediately. I need whatever Marvel was trying to do with their cinematic universe. I need that to die, and I need Ryan to take over, and I need Michael B. Jordan in the passenger seat. Let's get this. Like, what are we waiting for? Oh, you're trying to do X-Files? No. X-Files is off the table because we got to get more sinners out there. We need more. I never thought I'd say this. We need more sinners in the world. We need a lot more sinners in the world today. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, just got back from seeing Sinners in IMAX, and mind blown. I'm not really sure how to describe what that was, except to say that Ryan Coogler is a fucking beast. To have conceived of this story and brought it to life in such a brilliant execution. The cast is incredible. The cinematography was stunning. The music, Ludwig Göransson is like a legend in his own time. And what an absolutely brilliant and layered masterclass takedown of colonialism. The subtext was subtexting. I don't know if a horror film has ever made me feel so many things. Just brilliant. Just go see it. Go see it.
Am I the asshole? Am I in the wrong for thinking that my homeboy's girlfriend is suspicious, if not racist, for calling the movie Sinners racist? So, Saturday, May 3rd, I go watch Sinners. And immediately after I leave the theater, I hit up my homeboys and I tell them, y'all need to watch this movie. It is absolute cinema. It is the greatest movie I have seen in a long while. You guys need to watch this. And when the next day rolls around, I'm playing Marvel Rivals with one of my homeboys. And as we're talking and shooting the shit, he mentions he's about to go on a movie night with his girlfriend. So immediately I tell him, you need to recommend and suggest to your girlfriend to watch Sinners, right? Literally, again, the best movie I've seen in a while, and definitely better than Thunderbolts and the Minecraft movie, which were the two movies him and his girlfriend were bopping around between seeing. And so when his girlfriend comes around and he doesn't leave voice chat, he doesn't mute his controller, so I'm able to hear everything that's happening, he suggests to his girlfriend, hey, my homeboy said Sinners, and I hear her audibly, you mean that racist movie? And I'm like, yo, whoa, what does she mean racist movie? And here's the thing, she hasn't even seen the movie, right? She has never seen this movie. She hasn't gone out anywhere, like, she knows nothing about this movie beyond what people have said on the internet. So I tell my homeboy, yo, slight spoiler for the movie, right? But I tell him, yo, tell her that at the end of the movie, Smoke ends up smoking an entire pack of KKK members. And what I hear from her in response to that was another, and that's supposed to not make it racist? So I'm having to sit there dumbfounded, stupefied by the fact that this woman has so much compassion for the KKK. People who have no compassion and no empathy, who have done some of the most heinous and atrocious crimes to the black community, and not just even the black community, but mainly, predominantly to the black community. And you think that a movie showing the KKK getting smoked, that's racist? I don't know.
So I've been catching some really bizarre posts as far as the tremendous movie Sinners, #1 movie in the country is concerned, Sinners. First one that caught my eye was this guy, I don't know who he is, posted, "Hey white people," because that's going to get your attention. "Hey white people, Sinners isn't for us. It wasn't made for us, and it wasn't made by us. Stop trying to get yourselves invited to the cookout. It's weird." And of course, he was predictably a white guy, because for the first time ever, I clicked on his picture. I'm like, who is this jackass? And he looked exactly how I would have expected him to look. Long, outdated hairdo. His bohemian glasses, he's just so highly evolved. His self-righteousness was palpable. And his pity for those who don't understand the black experience, because they can't. They're white. He can, though, perhaps by proxy and black friends and this and that. I didn't know what to make. I wonder how Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan would feel about it. It's not made for you. Who's it made for? Yeah, it's made for everyone. It's a movie. It's made to entertain. It's made for movie lovers. It's a vampire movie. Yeah, it takes place in 1932, in the Deep South. It's about family. It's about loyalty. There's an Asian market. There are Irish descent vampires. It's actually a fairly inclusive movie. It's the Delta Blues. Buddy Guy's in there. I might go to see Buddy Guy next month at Foxwoods, the casino, just because I was so moved by his performance and his playing in this movie. And Miles Caton, the up-and-comer in this movie, who just played some mean blues in this. Can I go? Should I check with this guy? Is it okay is Buddy Guy, is he making music for me? Art is not exclusive. Art is to edify. It is to enlighten. Imagine if the makers of The Godfather, my name is Vinny, imagine if the makers of The Godfather was like, this is made by us, for us, not for you. It's made to show it's made for the people who lived through it, for people who haven't, are curious about it, for people who just want to be entertained. This white guilt phenomenon and the pity that typically accompanies those who've embraced theirs. I don't want my kids growing up around that. I want them to know that all art is at their disposal, and any art that they render is for the masses as well. If I'm to believe these clowns on social media talking about this, the only people allowed to go and see this movie are black people who were alive in 1932. That's a mighty small audience, and I doubt Coogler or Jordan would be down with that. Your evolution is missing a D.
So I went to see Sinners last night, and wow, what an incredible film. I want to see it like 3 more times, at least. And I've spent a lot of time today reading and listening to a lot of people's thoughts on it, because it's obviously so incredibly layered of a story. And there's not a lot I can add to the conversation that hasn't already been said by people who know more than I do and can say it better than I ever could. But I do want to speak on something that was frankly really refreshing to see in what's becoming a very popular film. Remek's deep longing to be surrounded by his ancestors again, to feel connected to that part of him again. I think a lot of white supremacy, though they would never admit this, in fact I think they would violently deny it, is actually really rooted in jealousy for connection, jealousy that there are people who white people have deemed themselves better than, who are so deeply connected to their ancestry, their community, where they came from. They have connections to the ancestors. And white people can get into ancestry, but it's for very A lot of times it's for kind of gross reasons, if you ask my opinion. I think a lot of times white people's drive to figure out their ancestry is kind of like this purity test. And not always, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times it's like, ooh, how white am I? How prestigious is the line that I come from? Do I come from kings and queens? Do I come from lords and ladies? And they're not interested in the ancestors themselves, just the titles of their ancestors. It's like, ooh, how pure were my ancestors and what resources did they acquire through oppressing people? And then that's like a source of pride. And a lot of people of color, particularly Black and Indigenous people, think about their ancestry more from like a, what did my ancestors survive? What was their strength? And what strength did they pass down to me? And they have this incredible gratitude for their ancestors that white people just don't have. But I think despite how we're taught to a lot of times look at our ancestry, like we have that longing deep inside of us. We just oftentimes don't know it. And that longing often comes out as jealousy and manifests in horribly destructive ways. As somebody who's been fortunate enough to do a lot of work to connect with my ancestors, to connect with their stories, I had a lot of stories passed down through the generations to me, and I've kept a lot of those stories dearly and shared them and looked up other stories of my ancestors, the good and the truly horrible. It's healed a lot in me, and it's helped me deconstruct. I think a lot of internalized racism, white supremacy, and stuff like that. I hope that people are encouraged to continue that conversation that the film started more, because we're never going to deconstruct white supremacy and racism fully until we heal those wounds from the past that we had from so long ago. And unfortunately, a lot of big problems are not going to heal until we heal.
The movie masterfully played with a lot of themes, this being one of them, But vampires have frequently served that kind of metaphor, The lord in the high castle draining the lifeblood from the peasants. I think it was really brave, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of folks that look a lot like me that could take a message from this film, and I don't think many of them are going to. Maybe not enough of them anyway. Hell, there's people around here probably just won't even go see it because of the fact that ain't enough white folks in it. And that's dumb as hell, because it's a fantastic film. And it says a lot about a lot of things, but some of which I'm sure I don't fully understand because that's not my experience. But I think there's an important message in there for everybody if they're honest and brave enough to look at it.
So went to go see Sinners last night. First thought, I'm so happy that our generation has our Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro in Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, because they don't miss. They just do not seem to miss. And Ryan Coogler, more specifically, that dude does not have it in him to make a bad fucking movie. Sinners was absolutely insane. Just the plot being almost like a fictional Deep South history biopic, music biopic, mixed with vampire horror, mixed with realism, blend of different cultures. Like, it was so insane. And just like every little detail that he got right, from the Asian community in the Mississippi Delta to that they were World War One, they fought in World War One, and Sammy's dad being a preacher, and what all that type of shit was like, and that they wanted their own place to make music and house it, and really just like their own sanctuary. And even like the quick 2-minute scene of like indigenous people in that time that were like vampire hunters that came to the house, like, do you have these people? They were like, nope, we're only gonna ask you guys once, we only got it once, we don't care. And then there were so many different wraparounds in this movie, sort of like how Smoke and Stack bought that place from the KKK guy, and he was like, oh, we're disbanded, but it turns out that like that was all a ploy to like give it to them in hopes to slaughter a ton of people after it, and then ending with the oh my god, like just laid them all down. And or how Evil clearly followed the brothers for like a long time, where obviously they went to World War One, then they went to Chicago and were doing their dirty work, got the guitar, had to leave Chicago, come back down to Mississippi, and just badness was following them there, because then Stack gives the guitar to Sammy and said it was this famous guy's guitar. And then in like that moment, shit really starts to hit the fan, like when he started playing that music, because then that's where you start seeing Remrick come about, and the fact that Remrick first goes because they hear Sammy's voice, and then the guitar was with them the whole way. Sammy's dad, the preacher, was not a fan of the guitar, and that he was like, the devil's going to follow you home. Devil followed them home. And the fact that Remrick and the other vampires tried leveling with the brothers and everyone, and almost like weren't coming from a point of like, we just want to kill you. Like, they were almost coming from a weird point of like, we want you to live longer because all this shit was taken. It was insane. Just an absolutely, like, I could go on for hours about this movie. It was ridiculous. 10 out of 10. I can't wait for, I'm hoping for a prequel on the brothers. I'm hoping for a sequel from what goes on with Sammy, and then a prequel about like indigenous people hunting ghosts would be cool. It was just Ryan Coogler. My God, just amazing.
There it is. There it is. We got it. We finally got to the bottom of it. Whew. That's what this is all about. That's why they're arguing with me. Now I get it.
Listen, I know I'm white, but the way some white people, quite a few white people, are reacting to the movie Sinners. When you're talking about white people, please don't lump me in with that group. Please don't. After that movie, my mom and I left the theater just saying that's one of the best movies we've ever seen. We cannot stop talking about it. It's all we've talked about all week. We keep listening to the music. We're gonna go see it again next week. We just can't stop talking about it. And if you're a white person who has said all the nasty things you've said about it online or walked out or whatever, we know exactly why you didn't like it. So, all I have to say to you is fuck off.
Great reactions from these white folks, and if there's anything the movie Sinners has done, is the fact that different races are going to see the film, even though some people are trying to bring this kind of discord that the movie is just all about the black people, is all about the FBAs. Of course not. You can see that different people are going to see this movie, and in today's video I want us to touch on coexisting in diversity. Yes, we are all from different races, different backgrounds, but do you know that we can actually coexist in our diversities? And that is if we choose to. We talk about unity, but forget that unity is not uniformity. It's not erasing color, culture, or history to fit one frame. Unity is standing side by side with different names, different roots, and saying you matter and I see you. And that is what unity should be all about. Because coexistence is not just a word, not just a trending post, not just a banner at a rally. Yes, you see, we go for rallies, we are posting and carrying all the banners talking of one thing, or a speech from a podium. It's in the silence when we choose to listen. It's in the classroom when every history gets told. It's in the workplace when every shade gets to lead. And it's in the streets when justice has no favorites. When justice is served to both the black person, the white person, the Latino person. If you deserve justice, then you should get justice. Not because this person is a white person, then if you need to be arrested after committing a crime, you're not being arrested. People will have to come out and start protesting. When we talk about coexistence, real coexistence means I don't just tolerate you, I celebrate you, I honor the road you walked, the language you speak, and the stories you carry, even when they make me question mine. That is what real coexistence is about. It means unlearning the lies you've been taught and relearning the truths. And I think that is why we have to bring back histories in our schools, because a lot of us don't even know these things. A lot of people get back to the house and their parents are telling them one thing on the other, and at the end of the day they end up not just liking this particular person because this person is from this particular race. Because this world, this beautiful complicated world, yes, the world is very complicated. It was never meant to be monochrome. Imagine the world with just black people. only. Imagine the world with just the white folks only. Imagine the world with just maybe the Latinos. Just imagine the world with just a particular race. Of course, life is going to be boring. Or just imagine the world with just only man, or imagine the world with just only woman in the world. It's going to be boring. It was meant to be a mosaic, piece by piece, color by color, struggle by triumph, and woven together. So let's stop pretending difference is the problem. Difference is not the problem. In fact, difference is the gifts, and respect, that's the key. We have to learn to respect each other despite our differences, despite our races. Let's break bread and not bridges, build tables, not walls, speak hope and not hate, and love loudly. That is all we need. We need that love to exist in our diversities. We don't have to be the same to stand together. We just have to be human enough to care for one another. Coexistence isn't just possible, it's powerful. But it starts with respect and it continues with courage. We have to respect one another. You see that word respect? It summarizes it all. You respect this person respects you. You respect this race, you get that respect you need from the other race too. But in the world of today, is it possible? Different races bring different stories, different strengths. That diversity isn't a weakness, it's a source of power. When we make space for every voice, we build something better for everyone. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. I cannot wait for that day where we have to coexist together without looking down on each other, without a particular race feeling like, oh, they are the top of the world, they've got the numbers and they just have to suppress the other one. I just pray and wish a time like that is going to come. I saw this particular comment and it just stood out for me. I think all people can enjoy each other's cultures and be entertained. Art is not exclusive, neither is history. Everyone has got their history and everyone has got their art too. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much for sticking around. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share and leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we are going to see in the next one. Thank you so much and bye bye.